he said orgasmic. I'm going to say that a couple of times more. Yeah, I want to talk about meditation. We heard a lot about the positive effects of meditation. I heard a couple of times that people struggle with sitting meditation and just making that a habit. I do a practice that is called orgasmic meditation. It combines orgasm and meditation.
Tantra.
And yeah, so I think human relations are and connection is a very, very, very important part of our culture. Who would agree? And who of you would say that you have the kind of connection and the amount of connection in your life that really nourishes you to the degree that you want? Yeah, so I discovered the practice 3.5 years ago, and when I first heard of it, and when my friend first explained what that was, I was freaked out. I was like, you have to freaking be kidding me, because she said something along the lines of, orgasmic meditation is a partner practice. It always takes 2 people. And like my mind was spinning out about, okay, you just sit there, 2 people, good. And then she was like, yeah, one person is a woman because there is a clitoris involved. And I was like, ooh, clitoris, okay. Okay. Yeah, the practice focuses on the female orgasm, which is not very much like the orgasm we talk about in our culture, which is goal-oriented climax. And yes, there are topics in our lives where goal orientation is a good thing. We heard about that. In our sex life, I would say not that much. Has anybody ever experienced some pressure in their sex life of like, oh my god, I need to make her come, I need to come, I have to climax at the same time as my partner? Anybody knows that? What would happen if we would take that goal orientation out of our connection, out of our sex life, out of the way that we experience orgasm, and instead experience orgasm as a state, just like flow state, where there are ups and downs, and there might be a climax, but it's just never ending, and it's just a wild ride, where anything is possible, but nothing is a must. And there is no goal that we have to reach. In our practice in orgasmic meditation, that is one of the main factors. It's a goalless practice. The only thing that we have to do for 15 minutes, it's always 15 minutes, the only thing we have to do during that time is to feel what's happening in our bodies. And let me say that for me as a woman, was fucking hard in the beginning. I'm like, okay, just feel. Like, how do I don't have to get somewhere. I don't have to make him happy. Okay, that's new. And yeah, for 15 minutes, you lie there as a woman and get your clitoris stroked. From your partner. Doesn't have to be a romantic partner. It can be a man or a woman. But it's just, it's just focused on the clitoris, and it's for 15 minutes with no goal other than to feel what's happening in your body in that moment. And it helped me, like I'm doing it for 3.5 years. I have a regular daily practice of 1 to 2 times a day. So you can do the calculation. It's a lot of time spent in this. And this is the space where we practice in. And what it did for me over the last 3.5 years is so much. Like, it changed my whole life, and I could talk hours about it, but I only have 30 seconds left. It increased my attention, and it increased the way in which I feel my own desire, and in which I feel my own hunger. And it had me claim my own sex way more than I ever was able to do that before. I was just like, oh wow, I have power over my own sex, and there is no goal anymore that I have to reach. And yeah, feel free to ask me any questions. I just wanted to talk about that.
First of all, thank you very much for talking on this great topic.
You're welcome.
Is it only for girls? No, actually, my question is different.
It's only for, so yes, only the women get stroked, if that's what you want. I guess so. But both partners get a lot out of the practice. We actually have a brain study going on in the States right now that looks at what's happening in the brains of both partners, not only the women's brain, but both partners. And what they found so far, the research is coming out next year, I guess, they found that both brains sync up after about 6 minutes. The brains reach the same state, and the brain waves sync up and just swing in the same way. So, and the oxytocin that gets released by that is the same in men and women. So both partners get a lot out of it. The effects are slightly different. I'm happy to talk to you about the details of it, of what men can get out of it, and yeah, you can also ask Stephen in the back. He knows the men's perspective quite well. Yeah.
So you called it orgasmic meditation. So is it the same effects that you would get from a normal meditation? Because of the name, this is what I understood. So would you say that you're getting relaxed and you feel like basically the effects of meditations are also in this meditation?
Yes, and I would say you get more out of it. I'm also doing sitting meditation, so yeah, I know both effects. I would say they are slightly different, where meditation is very solely focused on yourself, on your breath, or whatever kind of meditation you do, but it's done in solitude. And orgasmic meditation is always in connection. So that connection part is where I would say orgasmic meditation, or short OM, by the way, has a lot of benefits, because we get into a meditative state in connection with another human being.
And just a follow-up question. It has to involve two people.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's a good thing, by the way. It's scary and a good thing.
Okay.
You were first.
Yeah, considering it is a form of meditation, does it involve discipline? Like you said, you do it 2 times a day since the last 3 years. Do you ever want to overdo it? Like you wanted more of it and it became more of an addiction rather than something that...
I also get that a lot. I haven't experienced that yet. I would say the more you practice, the more results you get out of it. I have always been practicing around 2 times. I had days where it was more or it was less, but I haven't experienced it becoming an addiction. It had the opposite effect. Like my addictions became less, like sugar addiction. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so first of all, thank you for the talk. I think you're really brave to stand in front of an audience and talk about this, since the whole sex topic is a little bit taboo in a lot of society, so it's great to have an open conversation like this. And my question, maybe, you said it's not goal-oriented, so does this mean that in some sessions you will indeed not reach an orgasm and you'll just stop before you reach an orgasm? Or?
You would not stop before you reach an orgasm, except if the timer runs out.
So you have a timer?
You have a timer.
Okay.
It's always 15 minutes. No matter how good it is, at the 15-minute bell,
That must be
you
difficult
stop.
sometimes.
But yeah, it's really goalless in a way that climax is not necessary. It can happen, and if it happens naturally, that's awesome. But the like pulling and clinging for orgasm, and as soon as we reach that thing, the sex is over. That's the thing that orgasmic meditation actually tackles. And we separate orgasm and climax in a way where orgasm is more the state, like an orgasmic state, and climax is the 5-second party.
Maybe a secondary question,
Yeah.
if I may. What is the experience on your actual, or what are the effects on your actual sex life from orgasmic activation?
Well, I think they were dramatically, because I just recently talked to a woman about my sex life as it was before, and nowadays I'm able to say what I want in sex, which I was not for the longest time. The goal orientation is just gone. It's fun sometimes, by the way, but yeah, it's never that, oh my god, I need to do something for my partner. I'm just doing it for my own pleasure. If I don't like what I'm doing, he's not feeling pleasure either. So yeah, that's a good advice for everybody. Feel your own pleasure in anything you do.
Thank you.
You're welcome.